it's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you might have noticed, I actually haven't done, sorry, a wrap up for either July, August. Summer just kind of came and went and just kind of didn't happen. But I kind of still want to talk about some books that I read in the summer. Well, I have talked about them, but like I want to do this on a video. So here I am doing my favorite reads of the summer, which in a way I think it's slightly better than a wrap up because wrap up you're supposed to talk about all the books you read. Here it's just about the good books, the books that left an impression. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, as you see. And yeah, I have a few audiobooks and a few physical books, and yeah, let's get to them. As usual, I don't really have any specific order to them. It's just kind of the books. It's not in order I read them or when they came out. I think no, I'm just going to talk about them. First, we have so sorry, I just said no specific order, but these two are connected, so I'm going to talk about them together. First, we have the unbeatable Squirrel Girl and Squirrel. You know it's true. So it's the first and second in the Squirrel Squirrel Girl series. Though it's the first, I think there were like some Squirrel Girl a long time ago, but like this, in a way, I'm thinking this is the first official, or at least like it's a newer, it's a new publication, and this one refers to an old one, but I believe at least it's the first one with like her own stories. I think maybe the older Squirrel Girl might be like a plot of something else. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, I love the series. So this one came out in 2015, and so far I think actually there's kind of 12 issues around that actually. And I heard about it like around like here and there, but then Nathaniel from now I'm blanking out Council of Geeks talked about this in a recent video. Well, recent. It came out in July, I think, and I thought, that sounds very fun. They talked about this book, this series as very whimsical and heartwarming and just all around good. And I thought, you know what, that sounds cool. So I first bought this one, and then I read it, and like, oh, so good, so whimsical, and just colorful and amazing. And then I got this one, and I actually also bought uh, 3 and 4. So yeah, and I have read these two. I haven't read 3 and 4 yet. I might pick them up soon. But yeah, these two, Squirrel Girl, definitely recommend them. Like me, mostly I don't really read comics. I mostly read books. Sorry, books. Well, how do you different a book and a comic book? Well, so okay, a book with words. Well, comic books has words as well. Anyway, a non-comic book. Yeah, I mostly read non-comic books, but this one is definitely a series I'll definitely keep up with. Love it so much. Perfect for when I want to read something, but just want to read something quick, something whimsical, and yeah, I don't really want something big at all. But I suppose yeah, you have smaller reads like smaller non-comic book reads, but still, yeah, this delight. So delightful. So good. So good. Then we have something completely different. A new read. I finished this last week. No, actually 2 weeks ago now, but yeah, pretty recent. It's When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir by Patrice Khan Colors and Asha Bandele. So I talked about this a bit in the History Times video, so I talked about this one before. But yeah, it's a very impactful, very important and meaningful, well, meaningful and impactful is the same, but yeah, very important read. Definitely gives you insight, well, at least it gave me insight I didn't really have before, but it's not huge, so yeah, it's a great insight into how it is to be African American in the United States today. and just all the statistic and all the numbers and all the lives. It's just, yeah. But it's also, it's not just like sadness and like no so many sadness. Well, it's focused on that, but it's also focused on like on her life, and she also has some happiness. So like, if you don't read an important biography that also gives you hope, check this book out. Also, anyway, just amazing read, very important. As I said before, check it out. You have to read it. Written in the Stars by Alexandria. Yeah, Alexandria, not Alexandra, Alexandria Belfleur. So this is the first in a series. This is a adult romance series. This book has Lady. I decided to call it Lady. Well, I felt like saying it. Romance or female romance. One of them is bi, one of them is lesbian, but this real romance is with the two of them, as I just said. One of them is a cynic, one of them is a daydreamer, so it's opposite attract. It's also fake dating, and yeah, it's just a lovely story. It's just so sweet and wonderful, and yeah, I mean, often, sadly, a lot of the focus are like on bi or gay men in like LGBTQ plus romances. And yeah, just an amazing lady romance, and definitely highly recommend it. Well, why else would we talk about it? But yeah, highly recommend it. So good, so good. And as I said, it's the first in the series, so you at least have two more. The second one is already out. The third one is coming next year, and it's like, it's as usual with these romances. So it's like, it's people who know each other. So the second book is with the brother of one of these characters. The third one is a friend of one of these. Now I'm not like quite sure if there's gonna be a fourth one, but like some series you have like the romances of like a friend group or like a family. But like when you have a romances of like people like here, where it's first one couple and it's a brother and then it's a friend, like all these people have friends, and I suppose you could write a fourth book where you have the boss of some of these, or like they could. And I suppose you could like introduce a character in book 3 that you can use for book 4. So could happen, but I don't know at this time if there'll be a book 4. But yeah, at least there's 2 more books. So yeah, check this lovely story out. We have actually another lesbian, lady loves lady romance. This one I'm not actually quite sure if both of these are. I'm pretty sure one of these is lesbian. The other one I'm not quite sure, but at least the love story is between two females. Love is for Losers by Vibeke Bruggemann. So this I heard about in an Epic Reads video. It's a YA romance. Well, YA. I'm gonna call it contemporary slash romance because yeah, there's romance in there, but it's not heavily romance. So you can check this book out if you're kind of like romance slightly interested. Like if you don't read romance often, check this one out still because it's not heavily romance filled. It's more like this character Phoebe, and it kind of takes you through a year of her life. And she's 16, so it's a lot about like classes and how stupid classes are, and exams are so stupid. It's just so relatable. And then also, her mom is a doctor for Doctors Without Borders, so it's like kind of arguing with her mom, and she lives with her aunt, and then yeah, all this different, like there's some friendship stuff, but like yeah, and there's also romance, but romance is at the forefront of this, which I quite really liked, and it was pitched to me as one of the funniest books someone read recently, and I definitely recommend it. Definitely agree and recommend it. It's so funny. I actually laughed a bit when I read this. I laughed so much that I lost my breath. So this book, in a way, should come in a warning. Don't read it if you have issues with your lung, or if you're like scared to laugh so much. Well, I don't know if you would be scared. But I suppose don't read this if you're 110 because you might actually die from it. I think that's a slight possibility. But yeah, Love is for Losers, Vibeke Bruggemann. Also, actually, it's a debut book, but it doesn't read like a meh book or interesting like potential book. It's just an amazing read. So this author really, yeah, maybe she has lots of books in her closet that's unfinished, and then this one was what she polished. But yeah, she's just an amazing author. So cool, so good, so good. Another lesbian romance thingy, though this is more like it's not as the last one. It's not like very romance filled, but it's in there, and it's actually a bit departure for me because it's science fiction, not fantasy. Sorry, and it's science fiction. Um, it's science fiction adult, not YA or middle grade, which is yeah two departures for me. But you know me, sometimes I kind of dip my toes into something different if someone talks about his books positively enough. So, but also like this has something that I love. Now I'm thinking, which book is this? It is The Future of Another Timeline by Annalie Newitz. So this is a time travel story, but it's kind of different also in a way because often time travel stories are often okay. I love YA time travel stories are often like about saving the world, or it's about like saving your family. Maybe you talk to your grandfather and they're dying or something like, and you're supposed to save them because if they're not alive, you'll not be alive and stuff like that. And then I haven't read them many, but like my idea of it so far is that a lot of adult time travel is about romance, like historical romance, like Outlander, or like yeah, where you get stuck in the past and there's a love story in the past, so it's kind of more historical based than time travel, but it's there as well. And that does also happen with YA. And this, none of those stuff happens. Yes, it's about like saving. It's. I would say it's more about saving the timeline than saving the world. But it's not like if they don't succeed, the world mm, will be ended, like terminated. It's not like that. But the world would be awful. So I'm going to say something, I think, but it's not spoiler because they happen very quickly. Okay, so in this book, the start of the book starts in a world where it's 2022, no, sorry, 2042, and females can't have abortion. It's still illegal. It was never made legal. So that's like a big issue. And there's a gang, and like, okay, so in this world, time travel has been possible for a long time. But what happens is that a branch of people decide to go together and go to the past to try to change the past to make the future better for females. So like to make the future on our timeline, like making the because of when you change the past, it gets no timeline and yeah. And yeah, it's just an amazing read. It's a bit confusing at first, but it's still very good. You have different timelines, but it's told from different timelines. And yeah, it's also focuses on well, there's like I would say like it's a cast of characters. You have like 6 or 5 named characters that are kind of important, but then you have 3 or 2 that are kind of like main characters. And yeah, definitely recommend this. Highly recommend it. It's just a great read. I say in some points it's a bit raw here and there, like this a bit violent here and there. It's like this assassin stuff like that. So it's not like ha happy go lucky, but I suppose few time travel stories are. Well, I suppose some are, but like this isn't. But I would still say it has enough whimsical moments. Whimsical moments. It has enough light moments that you'll enjoy it if you don't not if you're like me and you can't read something too heavy. This is not like heavy. You'll fall down and be depressed for hours and weeks afterwards. It's not like that. Has enough like it has enough it has enough. What's the word I'm thinking about? It has enough So annoying. Anyway, it has enough not lighter points that you'll enjoy it, or might enjoy it. So yeah, The Future of Our Timeline, check it out. Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. So this is the third, no, actually I think it's the second one. Yeah, it's the second one in the series. It's an adult romance series. It's kind of like I got the idea from this that it might like be a bit suspense. It's not suspense. It's like it's romance with slight suspense elements, but like not suspense. But yeah, it's still I really love the characters in this one. Great romance story, and yeah, it's delightful read. Delightful. And I actually already have two of the other books in the series, and a fourth book has come out, and I think maybe it's gonna be 6, 7 books. I'm not quite sure how many, but yeah. And yeah, definitely really enjoyed this series. This series can't say I really enjoyed the series. Enjoyed this book, and yeah. And we have the audiobooks. Give me a moment to find the picture. So first, this is not an audiobook. This is not audiobook. This is a book I read. For some reason, I took a picture of it. I didn't find it here. So all over the place. I think that's because did I borrow it? I don't think I have. Okay, is it behind me now? Okay, so it's here. Okay, I'll find it. Give me a moment. Yeah, so I found it here. It's kind of like if I have the book, I can just show it off. So yeah, here. Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. Sophie Gonzalez also wrote Only Mostly Devastated, which is a gay love story or a male love story. This is a female male love story, while the protagonist is bisexual, but like this is slightly a spoiler. Well, it's not spoiler, the romance. So the ending relationship is her and a male, but she as such she's into a girl. So this female bisexual aspects there, definitely. And yeah, it's just a very fun, great little romp. YA rom-com. Well, rom-com. YA contemporary. It's about her life and kind of figure out her love life and figure out her. We also like some issues with school, this slightly bullying aspects, and yeah, this one very much recommended. Delightful, delightful read. So good. Then we have the next one, which is an audiobook. I don't have it on. I don't have it in physical form. It is audiobook. So I read the first one back in July. Yeah, July, and actually finished the second one yesterday. The first one being Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. And the second one being, for some reason I didn't take picture of the last one. The second one being Of Ice and Shadows. So this series is a high fantasy series. It is focused in like I was about to say European-ish world. Like some of the countries seem European-ish, but then some of the countries seem more Middle Eastern-ish. So like this, it's not just like kind of Middle East, just kind of like it's not just Middle Ages England. It's also like they like have lots of different countries that they use. So it's not like quite certain, but like one of the countries might be Russia inspired. But yeah, like this, it's kind of a big scope of places where they go and stuff. But it's high fantasy. You have so there's no England or France anything like that. Even though it's like different world or different timeline, it's completely different. And it's not like some stories have like a different names, but not no magic. This world has magic in it. And like in some countries, the magic is kind of frowned upon and like looked as dangerous and wrong. and some countries really embrace magic. Some countries have shapeshifters and the like, which is quite fun to really see. And yeah, and also like the thing is when the series it's told from the point of view, Mare and Denalea. Denalea at the first beginning of the first book she's supposed to well she's engaged to the prince of I just forgot the name of the country, which is so super. I just finished it yesterday. She's engaged to a prince of Minare. Sorry, she's engaged to the prince of Minare. She's from Halfmont, and yeah, so she has to kind of travel at the beginning of the book and get used to this new country. It's kind of like a bit of fish out of water thing. But very quickly she discovers, you know what, this prince is not for me. I'm actually a lesbian, or I'm into his sister. And yeah, they do have a relationship with each other, and it's just very fun, at least for me, to see a relationship with two females in high fantasy. I haven't really found that many of those. And I think that's kind of slightly why the hype is around this book. It came out in like 2017, so it's a bit older. What's an old book? But yeah, it's not the newest book. And yeah, this book so that I love it so much. Like the characters were so fleshed out. Uh, the the setting was so well done, and the plot twist was so interesting. And like yeah, it was just done very well. Enjoyed it so much. I would say the second book was a bit more a bit of a letdown because it wasn't that fast paced. I kind of felt like more things should have happened by the last point. I ended up googling it yesterday, and the author said she wants to write a third book, but it's not like it's not coming soon, and we know that because this it's been like it's well now it's been like 2 or 3 years since the second book still, but hopefully the third book will come soon. Cross my fingers, because the way the second book is ended, it doesn't end on a like cliffhanger, but like there's lots of stuff that should happen. Well, at least I think like some things that should happen before the series is completely ended. So yeah, I'm very interested to see the last book, or at least a third book. Maybe there's a fourth book that could happen, because actually this world is just so huge, and I feel like the world has just started being explored in the first two books. So I feel like you could have actually a lot of books from this series. I suppose at this point in time, you have two full-length novels and one book novella. So you have more than just two, but like still, I feel like you can have more really. But all in all, yeah, I very much enjoy that. I like for the. So first, I heard about this book a few years ago and thought, oh, sounds very cool. I just kind of forgot to read it because all the books. But then after a while, people say like this book wasn't amazing. I think I saw some people give it 2 stars, and I like, or listening to an audiobook, I was like, okay, I'm just kind of curious, what do people not like? Like maybe the next chapter is bad, maybe the next part is bad. Honestly, I never found an aspect of it that I didn't like at all. I found it a bit slow here and there. Like that wouldn't make me give it 2 stars. Like if a book is amazing but then slightly slow, I would go down 1 star, like for 4 to 3 or from 5 to 4. But yeah, this is definitely not a 2 star for me. It's a 5 star. I love it so much. And even the second book, which is slightly not better, not as good as the first book, I would still give it 5 stars, just not 5 strong stars. So yeah. And then we have last book. Sorry, The Unpopular Vote by Jasper Sanchez. So this is a YA contemporary, and the protagonist is trans, and the protagonist wants to go into politics. His dad is a politician and kind of wants to do like be like his dad. Well, he kind of wants to go into politics. He's very interested in politics, even though he's a teen. A lot of teens aren't that interested in politics. He's very much into it. And but okay, so his parents are divorced. Well, they're separated. They're functionally divorced, but they're not officially divorced. And after he came out as trans, his dad he hasn't really gotten his head around it, and so he and his mom moved to a different part of the city. Nothing new city, not quite. I don't remember quite, but like they moved, and then in this new place he uses a different name, not his official name, not his dead name. He presents as himself, like as a female, sorry, as a male, and like people there think he's male. He started using hormones, all that shebang. But like he made a deal with his dad that he can do all this, but he can't use his own name. He can't be official. Like he can do a bit of that. But very quickly he kind of wants to, and he can't stand out in the school and stuff, like, because if he stands out, people will interview him. They might research him and they find, oh, he's the son of that politician. Didn't that politician have a daughter? And then all this clashing, and yeah. And then it's just an amazing, well, very good look into how family aspects are, and how being a trans, it's not very easy. It's, well, of course not easy, but yeah, even in a place like the United States where you think like it's a land of free and all that, it's still not easy. Even like his dad is a Democrat, but he still doesn't really accept his son because it is his son. And yeah, it's just an amazing read. I enjoyed it very much. Also, actually, a debut book, but still, you don't really tell. It's just so good. So yeah, I would recommend that also so much. Obviously, I'm recommending all these books, and yeah, also yeah, I'm getting some sun from the outside now, so that's why the light is so weird. But yeah, and yeah, and that's it for today. Well, today, this it's for this video. Actually, I have another video planned for today because today is the UN's official reading day. So I'm gonna do a little video after this. Sorry, that's coming out today as well. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.